Greetings and welcome to the 2025 Haiku Report presented by your friends here at Cleveland Tom Industries. I, of course, am your host, President and CEO of Cleveland Tom Industries, Cleveland Tom. We have a lot to get to, so let's get into it. First of all, let's go over the agenda for today's report. We'll discuss our patented haiku process, landmarks for 2025, a yearly comparison of all of our data, trends, etc., overall engagement, an affiliate recap provided to us from the Eastern Division of Cleveland Tom Industries Philly branch, superlatives, the hooligan acknowledgments, the year in review, the all-time leaderboard, and our thanks. First, let's start with our patented haiku process. We start with what was known as a stream. The thing that you're watching right now is an essential part of the process. From there, we add words, mostly in English. These words are royalty-free, which means you're not paying for those. We get those for free. We have a great word supplier. We use those to get our words as cheaply as possible into the marketplace. Also, fueled by your channel points and biddies from a willing customer base. This is a volunteerism process. We produce our haiku in its raw form, which is essentially the words on a piece of paper in the form required by haiku law. Then we hand it off to our distribution specialist, who is a well-known bum, grifter, and drinky poo thief. That for some reasons everyone loves him, especially the ladies and ultra minimalists, and he distributes the haikus, and from there they're performed live for hooligans all over the world, then turned into secondary products as in the Discord and also the haiku books, which are made available for sale in the spring of the following year. And that's free entertainment for everybody who's watching. So not only are you providing yourself with haikus, you're providing haikus for everybody else in the stream at the time. Let's go through the year in review. So we'll start at the beginning of the year. On January 1st, we did our first haiku of the year from Help Myself, titled Spending the First 12 Minutes of 2025 Praying to the Porcelain God with Your Butt. Obviously a big, small kite with the long tail. From January also, the January 29th haiku co-op with the CTI Philly branch, where we did 88 total haikus, 44 from each of us. Then on February 1st through February 7th is the American Heart Association Charity Week. We generated over $1,100 to charity, resulting in a ponytail decutting, the Hot Ones Challenge, the Lederhosen stream, the geocaching stream, and the Hour of Power. So it's a very productive week for us, $1,100 for charity. We did our 1,000th haiku of the year on March 3rd. We did our 10,000th lifetime haiku on March 17th on St. Patrick's Day, a lucky day for us. We had our hooligan Brand Diesel 327 got her 1,000th lifetime haiku, giving her initiation into the Haiku Hall of Fame. More on that in a future stream. On April 5th, we did the American Heart Association Charity Haiku Sale Redeem, which we had 560 haikus in 3 hours for 26 hooligans. A big day for us to be sure. And it kicked off the idea that we probably need to do more than one sale a year anyway. Then on April 5th, that same day, we did our 2,000th haiku of the year. On April 16th, we did 69 haikus, which was the most on a non-special day, a personal best for the year, and nice, according to the board of directors. June 18th, a haiku co-op with CTI Philly region for 100 total haikus, where we're gaining volume there, which is nice. Showed that the haiku co-ops did have some value and people wanted to see them. On June 28th, we did our 3,000th haiku of the year, as exciting as that is. Changing over to the second half of the year, on July 12th, we did the Autism Community Action charity sale for an autism charity. We did 1,033 haikus for 33 hooligans over 8 hours. That was a big stream. We were very busy that day. That shut down production for a while we cleared the backlog. And that stream, we also got our 4,000th haiku of the year in, as we're already getting close to last year's numbers. August 2nd, we had 24 hooligans, which was our most on a non-special day, which is really exciting. It's a random August day to get the most hooligans we had in any given day is pretty interesting to me. Then in September at the end, we did our 5,000th haiku of the year on September 29th. October 4th, we did the third and final haiku sale, which is the haiku baby shower sale. 905 haikus over 6 hours for 28 hooligans, and that money went to Jedi and Chelsea, who were having a baby. We cover the baby a lot in the haikus and the haiku best ofs also, but baby is doing well. Little R2 is a baby birthed in haiku glory. On October 29th, haiku 6,000 for the year. On November 19th, we did the final haiku co-op with CTI Philly for 128 total haikus, a 28% increase over the previous one. That's big numbers. We did our 15,000th haiku lifetime on November 24th. And December 15th was Haikusmas, where we did 138 haikus for 22 hooligans. It was a pretty big year in the stream altogether. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. And December 15th also had the last haiku of the year, number 6,717 from Health Myself, another quote free quote haiku. Health having the first and last haiku of the year, I think, is an achievement that's never been met before. So, congratulations to you, Health. It was a wonderful year in Cleveland Tom Ministries in writing haikus. And now let's do some comparisons over year data. First, this is the streams by year. You can see we're starting to lose streams. We're just a little bit busier. We did 130 in 2022, all the way down to 116. This also probably has something to do with the amount of extra streams we spend writing haikus, filling in backlogs. I suspect we lost 6 to 8 streams just from doing that. And also, I think we started pulling up the stream. We also started pulling up the stream a little bit further from the end of the year than we did in 2022. So we're doing about the same amount of streams. It's just the haiku streams are a little low. We could talk about the amount of haikus per year. We went from 5,135 to 6,717 this year. We're about sixfold from where we were in 2022. Haikus per stream per year, about eightfold. That includes all the stream sales, specials, whatever. An average of 57 per year, so ninefold of where we were. We've been on a streak of every stream's had a haiku since March of 2022, so we don't consider that a data point anymore. It's considered guaranteed we're going to write haikus. And additionally, hooligans by year, we took a little step back this year. We were growing from 69 in 2022. We peaked at 96 last year. This year we had 91. But I think the quality has went up also. A lot more people getting a lot more involved. And hooligans per stream also went up from 9.7 the first year we kept data in 2023 all the way up to 17.1 this year, which we had an increase of about 18% from last year. So we're still growing in that regard. And lastly, sale haikus by year. The first year we did one short sale, was 125. We did 1,000 in one big sale last year. This year over 3 sales, almost 2,500 haikus in 3 large sales. People got strategies built around getting max haikus on sales. We had to put in limiters to keep people from getting too many haikus, from mucking up the works and causing us a bottleneck that we couldn't overcome. Even so, we still did nearly 2,500 haikus in those 3 sales alone. Next, let's look at our haiku profile trends. You can see here, this is our daily and cumulative profiles. By the 3 large sales and the 4th small haikusmas at the end, big bumps in numbers. Relatively consistent. I think we generally trend a little bit higher in the beginning of the year, and at the end of the year, it kind of flat from the first sale to the 3rd sale. I think people like to store points up. You get the same people coming in, getting the same number of haikus roughly. The numbers don't change much. At the end, we get a pop where things really start turning up. Next, the monthly haiku data. We have two profiles here. The bars represent the haikus in a month for non-special streams. On the left axis, on the right axis, and the line graph represents the haikus per stream. Once again, you see we start out really high, we kind of get low, we could go down during the year, we crater around the sales, and then we shoot back up at the end as people are putting the finishing touches on the rest of their numbers. This is our hooligan data. On the left side of the graph, you'll see the amount of new hooligans you get every month. Of course, first month, every hooligan is engaged. We pick them up gradually every month. December, we did less streams in December. We didn't pick up any. And we stayed basically around 40% or so of all the hooligans getting haiku in that given month. I have monthly data too. I decided for hooligans and how many months. I decided not to present here. If I can find a place to put it in next year, maybe we'll do it. So let's talk about the next thing here. Engagement occurrences. We always track how many hooligans and how many haikus we did in any stream, and we break that down to get a rough idea of how our stream looked for the year. This is non-special streams. So you can see here our haiku occurrence distribution. 40% of the haikus fall in that 31 to 40 haiku day range, which is impressive. We had a couple days we went over 60, or one day we went over. We had 2 days over 60. And then you get a little bit in the 20s and a little bit in the 40s, but mostly we're in that 31 to 40 range, 40% of the time. Every once in a while you have low ones. We had low ones in early October after the final sale, We had big ones at the beginning of the year where we did in the 50s frequently, and then most of the year we lived between 30 and 40. Hooligan distribution, you can see 59% of our streams between 16 and 20, which seems reasonable given our average of 17.1. We had a couple big streams where we went over that. That accounts for a little less than 9% where we went over 20, and the bulk of the streams between 11 and 15, mostly leaning towards 14 and 15. I want to say the lowest we did all year was 11. All improvements over last year, so showing growth. And as the year went on, we also increased the amount of hooligans we're getting in the stream. I can tell you, as little as 2 months ago, that average was under 17. This late in the game, we went from 16.8 up to 17.1 in a matter of like a month, so we're getting more people engaged, which is always good. That's what our goal is here, is to get as much engagement as possible. Next, let's talk about first. We tracked first for the entire year this year. We know that the early bird catches the worm. We did 116 total haiku streams, 132 total first. This was tied to either internet problems that caused me to reset the stream, a couple occasions where I accidentally closed the stream myself and restarted it, for an average of 1.14 firsts per stream. We had 14 distinct claimers of first. Remember, if you get a first in the Cleveland Tom stream, you get a haiku for 1 channel point if you claim it first. We had 14 people claim first. This is them now, buttressed by Health Myself and Compy, who seem to have a knack for getting here. The Boomsticks, who did a lot of these, showing up early for Saturday streams. And you have a smidgen of other people, Brandy and Otis. I know Slay got a bunch because restarts, he was ready. He cashed in 2 or 3 of those there. And a lot of people trying to get in first. It's a free haiku. We got 14 people, which is pretty good. Out of 91 hooligans, that's a pretty good turnout of people trying to get first. Health is the earliest bird, obviously. 51, that's a lot. And you want to break down the first by stream. Health had 52, Compy had 39, all others had 41 in total. So it's still a 2-horse race, but more people are going to get interested. And now that the awareness has went up, I think there'll be more people competing for first, so we'll get a little bit more variety in there. Next, let's talk about attendance. Remember, haiku attendance is defined by getting a haiku in a haiku eligible stream of the 116 eligible streams that we did. So first is the bronze tier. That's the lowest tier. It's 25 to under 50%. We had 4 people claim that. Slay, who was pretty much dormant for the early part of the year and came in at the end once the sales were over. He had been hoarding points. Joe is your hero. Joe was in here a lot early, and then he kind of fell off. He stopped showing up as much, but he maintained. Popcorn Cannon was a pretty frequent contributor. Sheepdog at 49% is pretty impressive because he is in Norway, and it's 5 hours over time zone wise, and he managed to get in here and get haikus in 49.1% of the streams. That's an impressive achievement for a guy who's so far away. Next tier, the silver tier, we have 4 people in that too. Philip Schneider, once again, someone who started out pretty hot. I think he had a streak. He had a perfect attendance until March or April, I think. And then he kind of got busy and stopped attending. AK Potatoes, who shows up quite a bit, which is also impressive because he's in Alaska and that's 4 time zones away, but we still catch him on both ends of the stream sometimes. Lance, who will show up prominently in his first year with 72%, into Boomsticks, who has become a staple here, last year's Rookie of the Year at 72%, holding down the silver tier. Next is the gold tier, which is 75 to 90% or under 90%. We had 2 people occupying that. Gridiron Norseman, who had a lot of haikus last year, came in big this year, 75%, basically here feeling seemingly every day. Big O, who unfortunately lost his perfect streak on the first day. I think he didn't know we were streaming, and he ended up coming in with 87.9% of all the streams getting a haiku. That's impressive. Also coming off a 2nd place Rookie of the Year last year. The next tier is a platinum tier, which is 90 to 99.9%. We have 4 people occupying that. Jedi and Darthling, impressive for these 2. I think most of their misses come from them being teachers, and if you're teachers and we do some streams during what will be normal work business, you're going to miss those. Then the last 2, Colin, C. Chrisman, and Muta Shadow, only missed 1 stream all year. Call missed his because he had a power outage and didn't wake up, and Muta Shadow missed his because he was just really busy one day and couldn't make it in. Muta Shadow, if you think over the last 3 years, I want to say he's only missed like 3 total streams in the last 3 years, which is still pretty impressive. But not enough for a streak, but his dedication to popping in and saying hello and getting haiku is noteworthy. That leaves us with the last tier, the perfect attendance tier. The diamond tier, 100%. Last year, we had only one person achieve this goal of being in every haiku stream. Life happens. Sometimes you miss one, but we had one person. This year, we had 4. The big 4 who made it all the way to the end. We had, as early as May, or as late as May, we had 6, and then periodically you lose people for various reasons. This is the 4 who did a haiku in all 116 streams of the year. Computer MD82, Chelsea P, Brand Diesel 327. We'll be hearing more about her later, and of course Help Myself, who had all those first. His first alone probably would have put him in the silver tier on his own, or actually probably the bronze tier. Another thing to note, Chelsea was given a special dispensation to where if she missed one because she was having a baby, she would be given a pass. She still showed up, baby in hand. Maybe at the hospital, I don't know. We appreciate the dedication to the haiku, especially because she's a busy lady. She's got 3 kids at home, and I'm glad that she pops in. So we had 4. That's an increase over from 1 from last year. Look at the hooligan attendance by percentage. About 80%, getting less than 25%. That's about where we live. It's a little better than normal. The 4.4% getting 100% attendance is pretty good. The overall qualifying group is larger. As you can see here, we had 18 qualifiers this year, up from 17 last year. That 18 makes up 19.7% of all hooligans, up from 17.7% last year. While we had a few less hooligans, we had more attendance qualifiers, which ups the overall numbers. About 20%. I think if we can see that number slowly increase over time, I think it just increases our overall number. It's not a surprise that we're seeing an overall increase in the amount of hooligans per stream as we're getting people attending more frequently. We had a few people finish in the 20 to 25% range that were maybe 2 or 3 streams short of qualifying. Those people were all kind of late arrivers or generally unable to be here. So I suspect these numbers could go up next year if we keep who we've got. Let's see here. Okay, now we're going to take a brief break, and I'm going to turn it over to Health, and he can talk about his affiliate recap from the Philadelphia version of Cleveland Tom Ministries. Take it away, Health.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 Haiku Recap for Cleveland Tom Industries, Philadelphia region. I have very good news for all of you. The numbers went up. So let's take a look at everything that went down in 2025. Up first, we have to look at the past in order to move forward. In 2024, we made some estimates, some projections, and some guesses about the future of the Philadelphia branch. Starting with a 200% increase in haiku requests and a 100% increase in haiku requesters. Did we hit those numbers? We'll have to wait and find out. Research and development also needed to work on a haiku delivery system so that we could get these haikus out to the masses via our channel bot. It needed to present old haikus on demand and be triggered by the haiku ID number. Were they successful? TBD. The technology department was tasked with acquiring a microphone for onstage use at the Haiku Heck Hole, the venue we all know and love that has now been standing for nearly 2 full years. And there was some talk about perhaps special haiku events? Who can say? Well, we can say because we are going to go over those numbers right now. In regards to our haiku requests, they went up an astounding 2,337.04%, well above our initial projections of 200%. Our haiku requester numbers also went up 666.67%. Pazuzu was very pleased upon hearing that number, and that is why Pazuzu continues to sit on the board at Cleveland Tom Industries. Research and Development released what they called a haiku bot on January 1st, 2025. It features on-demand haikus displayed by number in chat with text-to-speech performances by the haiku bot itself. And R&D also released a complete database of haikus on January 20th, 2025. That database continues to be updated to this day, showcasing every haiku that has ever been requested on my stream. The technology department eventually deployed a microphone suitable for usage at the Haiku Heck Bowl in the middle of June 2025. It took them quite a while to perform the necessary research, get the right microphone, and adjust the audio, as they say in the biz. And what about those special events? Well, Tom and Health co-hosted 3 very special haiku events, and each time they set a world record for haiku co-op. The first one was good, the second one was better, the third is the best so far. So let's take a look at some actual numbers for our 2025 haiku overview. In the stream, we wrote 658 haikus for 46 unique requesters. We came so close to hitting the 8,000 word mark, hitting a mere 7,926. We averaged just over 12 words per haiku. We averaged exactly 17 syllables per haiku for the second straight year. The Department of Quality was very, very pleased with this outcome. Our busiest month happened to be January. Everyone must have been extremely excited to kick off the year because we had 118 haiku requests during that month. However, our busiest day was not in January. It was on November 19th, the third of the 3 co-op streams, where we wrote 64 haikus in a single stream. We are very proud of that number. We are also proud of every number on this screen right now, including the ones we're about to show you. Computer MD82 requested 154 haikus this year. That is up from 1 in 2024. That is a significant increase in interest from our most loyal patron. And the longest streak also belongs to Computer MD82, who had an uninterrupted dozen on December 22nd, 2025. I agree, eyeball emoji. Those numbers are wild. So here, we are going to showcase visuals of the 2025 haiku overview. If you look at the chart on the left-hand side, you'll be able to see our quarterly breakdown. We started off very strong by having nearly 1/3 of our haikus this year written in January, February, and March. We slowed down a little bit in the second quarter to 27%, and then we really slowed down during the third quarter. I am still struggling to correlate the reasoning why things were so slow during that time, but it appears, after looking at the numbers, it is related to there being no co-op stream during that quarter. And we finished strong by having approximately 1/3 of our haikus written in the fourth quarter. On the right-hand side, you can see our requester breakdown. Computer MD82 accounting for nearly 1/4 of all the haikus in 2025. Gridiron Norseman with a very strong showing, topping 20%. Jedi 31177 coming in at a very strong third, 18.4%. Quax RPG at 6.8. Daboomsticks at 4.6. Chelsea P 2009 at 3.8. Muta Shadow sliding in with 2.7. Lance 1601, a fresh face on the Twitchiverse with 2.4%. Our very own Cleveland Tom with 2%. Darthling getting in there in the top 10 with 1.8%. And everyone else combined for the remaining 13.8%. Well done, everybody. Well done. We're going to continue to look at a visual representation of our haiku overview here. bars. When the bars are big, that means there were more haikus written. And you can see that there is a little bit of inconsistency as we start here, but we also need to factor in a couple of things about February and April that we will discuss in a few minutes. If you look all the way to the left, that 27 is the entirety of 2024. By the time we hit mid-January this year, we were already well past last year's total. Again, very impressive, everyone. Very, very impressive. So I did want to address that the Philadelphia Regional Office was temporarily closed in both February and April so that I could tackle some personal matters. Your support was and continues to be greatly appreciated. Thank you, thank you. Haikus were available in over 95% of my streams this year. Over 95%. No one else on Twitch can say they had haikus or available redemption in 95% of their streams. No one. We also added the Haiku Bank towards the end of May, and that currently holds 17 haikus for 5 patrons. Our very own Computer MD82 cashed in all 12 of his banked haikus, giving him that 12 haiku streak on December 22nd, 25. And that kind of sets the sun here on 2025. What about 2026? Well, one of our main goals is to have haiku redeems available for 100% of all streams. That is going to be a challenge, especially given the makeup of some of the streams that are planned for 2026. But that is our goal, and we're going to try to do it. We are going to continue growth with new patrons and even more haikus. We're going to introduce some special haiku-related stream events. Now, what could this possibly mean? No one knows at this point, not even the person in front of the microphone. We are going to continue co-op streams with Tom, perhaps for charity. Perhaps we will figure out how to do one live and in person. Perhaps we will have another question with even more question marks. Who can say? Who can say? And our session basis on stage at the Haiku Heck Bowl is starting to grumble about having to play the same jazzy song over and over, so we are looking to add some more tracks to the playlist. And finally, we do want to refine the Haiku Bot's performance and add some additional functionality. We're just not entirely sure where we want to go with it. So as we wrap up, I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Cleveland Tom, for continuing to allow me to run this extremely legitimate business opportunity. Special thank you to Aaron Trout, Alice HK8, Atitree, and Mitri for being excellent moderators on Twitch, and good people too. That latter part is actually more important, and I should not have kind of smirked and chuckled there, but I did. Oh well. And of course, thank you to everyone who requested their own personalized haiku. You're the ones who make this venture worthwhile. And don't worry, you're on the next slide. Everyone just relax. Here we go. Our 2025 Haiku Wall of Names. You see your name up there, that means you requested a haiku in 2025. That means you 9 names: Aaron Trout, Abermalice, AK Potatoes, Amanda Pants Pants, Ash Nymphia, Big Otas, Brand Diesel 327, Cal the Traz, Chris, Chris, Colin, Chainsaw Bear, Chelsea P 2009, Cleveland Tom, Computer MD82, Computer MD83, Darren, Da Boomsticks, Darthling, Diamond Barbarian, Every Time We Slay, Future Rush, Gooey Pal, Gridiron Norseman, Jahaley 64, Jedi 31177, Joe is your hero V2, Lance 1601, Matthew Rieger, Miss List 15, Muta Shadow, Nerwanda 1, Nilf, Philip Schneider, Quexp RPG, Rockor, Robert Games, Sabonis 74, Sarah Crimson, Saradash TV, Sheepdog 81, Taters PGH, Tech Gamer 36, The Phenomenal Sir, UAH Chargers Graduate 21, and West QQ. Remember, you're the ones who are the reason that I do what I do. Keep that in mind. And I will see you in 2026. Everyone take care, put a cap on your Snorlax, and enjoy whatever it is you're about to do. We will see you next year. Be safe and take care. Farewell.
Okay, we're back. Let's talk about superlatives, some of the more quirky, fun things that happened in the haiku stream. First of all, let's talk about the streakers, the longest active streaks. These are people that have attendance for the most consecutive streaks in a row. This seems to be a pride and joy, a source of pride for a lot of people. Let's break down the top 5 streaks we have of current streaks of all time. First of all, C. Chrisman, he has every stream since May. 66 streams of showing up. I told you he got lost power outage. He was up in the 100%. Honorable mention goes to Muta Shadow, who just lost his in October, but he had 2 really long streaks that he just breaks up. 4th place in streaks, Help Myself, which was every stream this year. He missed the last stream last year. He's in 4th for total streaks, but he made it every stream this year. Computer MD82, 129 streaks. That takes him into the middle of November last year with his streak. 129 still pretty impressive. 2nd place, Chelsea P 2009, every stream this year, and the preceding 20 streams of 2024 for 136 total streams. And of course, the lead streaker, the High Queen herself, Brand Diesel 327 with 249 consecutive streaks. That covers every stream, from last year and into this year. What an impressive assortment of attendance that she pulled together. I mean, does she keep it going on forever? Does it go until the stream stops? We'll find out. But it's 250 GGs to Brandy. She's lapping the field, running away from everybody. 2 full years of haikus. Congratulations, Brandy, for your record streak. Next, we'll talk about the Haiku Rookie of the Year. This award or acknowledgement is given to people that didn't make an impact in previous years, show up this year and put their first larger number up. I think the rule of thumb is less than 2 in the year before or previously. Though I'm flexible with those rules, it kind of depends. That's a feel on how we do it. So let's talk about this. We have five acknowledgements here. First of all, Diamond Barbarian got 12. She popped in a lot frequently from the middle of the year to the end. We started seeing her. She shows up, says hello, gets a haiku once in a while, but 12 is a pretty good number for your first year. We'll see if we see more of her in coming years. Shaggy Greek Chins also showed up kind of middle of the year, started making an impact, particularly in the Discord. 18 haikus in his first effort. He's a true rookie, as is Diamond, who didn't have any haikus last year. Lady Potatoes, keeping up with her fella AK Potatoes, 24 haikus. She was in from mostly, I want to say from February to the end of the year. In every couple weeks, comes in, gets a haiku, says hello. Introduced us to the Katmai Fat Bear Festival, which is fun, which is watch a bunch of bears get fat before they hibernate. Second place rookie of the year was Abermalice. Abermalice came into the stream about June and started out slow like everybody else, and then she really started hitting us with heavy artillery, a lot of God and a haiku themed tour of the human sexual experience. A lot of interesting topics from Abermalice, but she's only 2nd rookie of the year. And this year's rookie of the year, if you don't know, is Lance 1601. Came into this stream early, basically here all the time, memeing, asking questions. Really made a name for himself in this stream as a haiku receiver this year. Congratulations, Lance, for being this year's haiku rookie. It's a pretty prestigious award. First, Brandy won in 2022, Compy in 2023, or Computer MD82 in 2023, to Boom 6 last year. And now Lance joins those people who all went out to put pretty massive numbers and their haiku careers. Next, we have 2 special awards. We like to mix these up. This is a return award. This is called the Low Effort But Effort Award. This award is given to the person who's done a haiku in every available year, but to the lowest possible number. So this is a person who's present in all 4 years and only done 7 haikus. Samurai Udansha, congratulations on being the lowest effort hooligan of all time. I don't want if they're sleeping, don't wake them up. It's unlikely you'll see them out in the wild because they pop in very infrequently. But 4 years, 7 haikus. This is the award that almost anybody, you'll see like about 20 people have been in all 4 years. Anybody is eligible for this if you have the lowest number and have been in all years. We'll see. Does he show up this year? Does he get a 5th year? Does he maintain his title? Last year it was tied between Mutant Pizza and Lane Rayner, and they didn't show up this year. So now, if he doesn't come this year, that door goes open to you again. It could be anybody almost. Next, the last award, I like this one too. This is the went to the store but didn't come back award. This is awarded to someone who has the longest negative streak, which is the haiku early and just never came back. This award goes to Knucklebuster, who came in on 1-1, got a haiku in the first day of the year, and proceeded to miss the next 115 streams. He comes in and says hi, too. It's very strange. He just never got another haiku for the rest of the year. We do hope he comes back with those cigarettes and that bread, because we're hungry and we need him to come back. Congratulations to all of these superlative acknowledgments this year. All the contributions are interesting in their own way and supply a little bit of spice to the haiku stew. Next, let's talk about haiku acknowledgments. As we've said before, there are 3 tiers of haiku hooligans. We divided you up into 3 tiers. The first tier is known as the associate hooligans. That is anybody who has between one haiku up to less than 25% of 10th place. We'll talk more about that later, but this is anybody who had at least 1 haiku but less than 25% of 10th place. With 69 of them, nice, which is actually the same number we had 2 years ago. Also, it shows that we're getting a little bit more middle. The middle section is kind of expanding. So there's your 69 names there. You can see it's headlined by Abermalice, we talked about previously. Some of your rookies are in there. Gustavo, who's been a haiku champ. Lady Potatoes, Rocket Sauna, who's been a haiku champ. Other people from other places like the Pickled Peppers, a Bagler, who are frequent contributors. You see some more rookies in there. Everybody gets acknowledged here for some reason or another. If you get 1 haiku, you get at least into this group. But those people contributed all, I would say, in the neighborhood of like 4 to 5% of all the haikus in the stream this year, which is still pretty good. We love our associate hooligans. Just because you're on this level doesn't mean that you can't do better, or you can't get more haikus, or you can't be in a haiku champ next year. I mean, even Haiku Tom himself is saying do better next year. You can move up the ranks. The second tier is what we call the ride or die hooligans. These are hooligans that have at least 25% of the top 10th place on the haiku leaderboard, but not in the top 10. These are people that come here frequently. They deserve acknowledgement for it's very competitive to get in the top 10. These are people that, in my opinion, deserve acknowledgement for getting themselves a lot of haikus, even though they didn't quite land on the board. This year we've named them the Ride or Die Hooligans, the Top Gun Haiku Squad, and that's Haiku Tom cosplaying as Maverick. So let's go through them in order. First of all, Miss Liz 15 made the list this year. She creeped in at the end. Miss Liz, we rate a lot. She was big on the sales. She shows up periodically. Once again, from the West Coast. 3-hour time difference, still manages to come visit us once in a while. Congratulations for making your first trip into the Top Gun Haiku Squad. Next, the Phenomenal Sir. He's been all over the board. This is his 2nd or 3rd time in this group. He comes and visits us. He was in early, took a bunch of the year off because he was doing the school stuff, and then came back. Did enough to get into the Ride or Die squad. Congratulations, sir. Kale Batraz, he was in the top 10 last year, took a step back after hoarding for the sale. We still see him pretty frequently. Made the top 10. This would be his first time in this particular group, because last year he was in the top 10. Popcorn Cannon, he's been a frequent participant, or a frequent member of this group also. I think this is his 3rd attempt. He comes in pretty frequently. He gets numbers in bunches, says his piece, and then pops out. He's a big fan of 90s Tom. Joe is Your Hero. Joe is Your Hero was in the top 10 last year also. Took a step back. We haven't seen him. He came in big early. He was in the leaderboard until about March and kind of fell off just due to not being here. But he did enough early in the year to stay in the Ride or Die Hooligan Top Gun Haiku Squad. Fat Cat's been all over the board. Fat Cat's been a fixture in the stream for many years. He is also in the Pacific time zone, I believe. But for him to show up and get that many haikus is very appreciated. He's also a guy that his sleep schedule is a mystery to me. The Fat Cat makes it on the list again. Next on the list, Philip Schneider. Philip Schneider's been in the top 10. He's been on this list before. He's been a fixture in the stream for a long time. Philip Schneider, he's been busy. Did enough haikus to make the Ride or Die Hooligan tier. Next, AK Potatoes. Potatoes has also been a top 10. He's been on this level before. He's been on all 3 levels at some point. He's known primarily for getting haikus about potatoes. Man, have we written a lot of haikus about potatoes. I'm not going to say too many, but it's too many. Of course, a true fixture in the haiku portion of the stream, Jedi 31177. He was one of the original haiku champs back when it was a handful of people, back when we expanded the leaderboard from 1 to 3 to 5 to 10. He's been there the entire time. He's found a comfortable spot there in the Ride or Die thing, kind of a Ride or Die emeritus, if you will, because he was doing it before we put up big numbers, and we appreciate him still being in nearly every day and getting haiku pretty frequently. Next, Muta Shadow, another one. Muta Shadow was probably a second-year ad who was in the top 10 and then kind of, getting a haiku stream, and then eventually kind of found himself entrenched firmly in the Ride or Die Hooligan tier. He seems to be content with his spot there. He's a guy who's been around a long time. He can, if he sticks around, he can put up Hall of Fame numbers. The same thing goes for everybody on the right side of the board here. Having consistent years and being in this group you can still get into the Hall of Fame without being a hooligan, a top 10 every year. There's room for that for you. Lance 1601, this year's Rookie of the Year, put up an amazing 190 haikus. That would have been second place in 2021, or 2022, excuse me. Now resorting to being in 12th place, which has been pretty impressive. And he's been in just about every day, high attendance, a great first year. We'll see what he does next year. A big component, a big part of the sale also. Sales we did. People tend to take advantage of that because it's a great way to get good numbers. And it helps the stream out too, because most of that money and stuff goes to charity. And then lastly, the premium member, Sheepdog 81. Sheepdog got 200 haikus this year. That would have been 2 less than first place in 2022. The most impressive thing about Sheepdog, once again, is that he lives in Norway, so he still catches a pretty good amount of night streams, I think at the cost of, or because of maybe difficulty sleeping. He does really big on the sales. He comes in, gets big numbers there. He wrote a lot of good haikus in the various sales. He showed up a lot in the best of. Congratulations. I think at this point he's the all-time leading haiku receiver from someone who isn't in America, and he's over in Europe, which is pretty impressive to me. So congratulations to these guys, the Ride or Die Hooligans. These guys can watch my tail anytime, and you can watch mine. There. There's your Top Gun reference. So congratulations to those people, but they have to take a secondary seat to the true stars of the show, the haiku champs. The haiku champs is defined as anybody who has the top 10 highest haiku totals for the year, as tracked by me and backed up probably by Computer MD82. So let's start at the end, of course. First of all, 10th place, but very significant, Chelsea P, 2009, 228 haikus, a massive number. She's in here every day, as we previously mentioned. 1s and 2s, shows up good in the sale. She even had a baby that still came around to get haikus. Congratulations on your top 10 finish. This is her second top 10 finish. We write a lot about her pregnancy and a lot about the baby, and just even when she started in her relationship with Jedi, kind of chronicling that in haiku form. I wonder if there's enough there to track and to make it its own chapter. Well, I'll take a look. That's interesting to me. Congratulations, Chelsea, on your second top 10 finish. Next, we have Brand Diesel 327, the High Queen herself, the tentpole of the stream in its early years. She's been here every stream. She's been a little less active. That's probably for the best, going out there doing other things, living life, but still top 10. She never fell out of the top 10 all year. She's one of 2 people we'll show later that have been in the top 10 every year. And this is no exception. She got her 1,000th haiku this year. Cleve News. So if we did 116 streams, we did 116 Cleve Newses at least. Forcing me to chronicle my mundane existence. We appreciate that. Congratulations, B, on staying in the top 10. Also an 8th, Gridiron Norseman. Gridiron Norseman, I believe he was in the top 10 last year also, though I can't remember. 265 haikus. He was in early. He was in often. He was in for the sales. a lot of philosophical stuff, a lot of interesting topics. He's a Vikings fan. I think he also got a haiku book last year through Copy. He's a valuable member of the stream. Of course, what does Haiku Tom have to say? That's skull many haikus. That's right. I don't agree with Haiku Tom frequently, but when I do, it's because he's right. There's numbers 8 through 10 now. We're going to number 7. Number 7 on the list. C. Chrisman, 394 haikus, buttressed by the High Colin News, rather, which started in January, which his version of Cleve News, in which he writes a haiku about himself, and then we turn that into a haiku based on what he wrote. He has been a lot of help to me. He's a mod on the stream. He was in the top 10 last year also. He was in a really good rookie class 2 years before that. He's a good egg. He sings barbershop. That's why Haiku Tom is dressed up in honor of him. A lot of various topics throughout the year. Comes up big in the sales. He just missed one day from perfect attendance. You know, that's what happens. You can't. It's just not guaranteed, right? So congratulations to Colin. Also, that's almost 400 haikus, which is a ridiculous number. It would have dwarfed any other year's numbers, the first year numbers for sure, and it'd have been top 10 every year. So we're getting there in the area where these are all just giant numbers for people who are focused and determined to get those big numbers. Number 6 this year, every time we slay, another one who took advantage of the sales. The reason we instituted the sale cap limit, he managed to parlay that into an attendance award after all that, after basically just hoarding points for most of the year. It's impressive. We had to change. Look, whenever we have to change the process because of you, that means you're impacting. You're doing something right. Congratulations to Slay for 400 haikus. He made it right over the end of the last stream, 401 because a final first, but still not only good enough for 6th place because people were determined this year. There was a lot of action at the end of the year. Next, Big Otis. Otis, unfazed by his 2nd place finish in Rookie of the Year last year, just said, I'm going to come back bigger, stronger, and better. He had a massive final day. He dropped a 50 bomb on us during Haikusmas and got 408 haikus. He's a great gamer also. You should check out his Twitch stream. Great haiku topics, keeps it current. Also a lot of haikus flattering me, which generally makes me uncomfortable, but that's what it is. We aim to please here, so that leads Haiku Tom to say the haiku numerical harmony. That's correct. I mean, to have people this close together, that high up on the board, is not super common. Normally, there's like tiers. This is like a 2nd tier all to itself, above 8, 9, and 10. That leaves us with the top 4 haiku receivers for the year, and let's look at them. So first of all, he's dressed all patriotic. That must be the Boomsticks with 416 haikus. Boomsticks is all over the place. He wrote some great lists this year. He does some great thematic works. He was big in the sales. He also is the creator of the Harvey Crisco verse, which is his own amount of haikus on its own, which has been a bit on hiatus because I think we're going to start back in 2026 with Eugene Drummond after we finished Bomble's Mon, which was captivating storytelling. The Witch Named Mary, Harvey Crisco. I'd like to do at least two sets of these a year. That might be a lot to ask for. I can write Crisco verse forever. Boomsticks was all over the year, put up big numbers frequently, and a great contributor. Thank you very much. 416 haikus, a giant number, barely beat out O. Like there was a bit of a kerfuffle in the middle of the board throughout the between 2nd and 3rd sales, and really to the end of the year as people were positioning themselves. Next, speaking about positioning yourself, Health myself with 746 haikus. Health's been a fixture in the stream for a very long time. He took advantage of the charitable streams, made big donations to the charities, wrote a lot of good haikus, a lot of good series. He is effectively the creator of 90s Tom as a haiku character with his work in the summer sale, and became a bit of a staple around here. He also a series of Dave Matthews Band song titles. We did every Dave Matthews Band song, which was interesting. Those are some of the best haikus I wrote this year because I just kind of let it go. I kind of let it go and just kind of wrote my feelings on them, and they were pretty good haikus in general. A lot of stuff. Oh, that's top 10. 746 haikus from Health. Put himself in a class effectively by himself. Obviously, here every stream, got a lot of first, took advantage of the setup. Donated generously, made the stream a better place. Congratulations, Health, on your podium finish. This is his 2nd time in the top 10. I think he's done some ride or die stuff in the past. That leaves us with the final 2, and we had a very interesting development this year. Yes, Haiku Tom, the next 2 Hall of Famers. Health is right there. Health's only about 70 haikus away. Boomsticks at the pace he's going, we'll probably get there next year too. That's exciting. We decide 1,000 haikus put you in the Hall of Fame. We'll work on that and develop that in 2026 also, because I want to give people who are dedicated a little bit more acknowledgement. I like that kind of stuff. Next, we have 2 thrones. Why do we have 2 thrones? Because 2 people out of all the hooligans, 100 or 91 in total, 2 people managed to have exactly the same total for the entire year, and it was the highest total. That goes to Computer MD82 and Darthling. Both here pretty much every stream, both generating lots of haiku content, lots of interesting topics. I believe Darthling, if I understand the history of this, Darthling had a number he wanted to get by the end of the year. He pulled ahead at the third and final sale. Compy lagged from behind, eventually caught up to him. He had the chance to get that 889th haiku, and he said no. There's room for 2 at the top. Computer MD82 as the 2-time defending haiku champ. Only the 1 time actually. He only won 1 time, didn't he? I can't remember. But he had 1,000 haikus last year. Took a step down. Still 888 haikus is an amazing number. Darthling, of course, both Hall of Famers, both reached their 1,000th haiku last year, which is pretty in 2024, which is really impressive. 2 staples of the stream, 2 great contributors, 2 people who were generous in the sales. Great topics, great contributions. What do you have to say, Haiku Tom? What has I been even humbled in front of the court jester, Haiku Tom? Congratulations to the 2 of you for having 888 haikus, for being real backbones of the stream. That 2 of you combined make up about 20% of all the haikus in the stream. For 2 guys, that's pretty impressive across the entire list. It's amazing, and we appreciate your overall contributions to the stream, both with haiku topics and biddies, which go to make the stream better and make the books, keep the book prices down, etc., etc. So congratulations to you guys. Long live the High Kings this year. What will 2026 bring? What will the board look like? Who's going to fall off the board? Who's going to find their way onto the board? Who's going to rise from anonymity to haiku glory? I guess we'll find out next year. The next thing I want to do is I want to bring up the haiku counts year in review. I put together a little brief presentation for you to look at. I'd like for you to check that out right now, so please stand by. Let's go back and look at the all-time haiku leaderboard next. This is the top 20 all-time, as you can see. 155 total hooligans lifetime. This is the top 20. Computer MD with over 2,000. Darthling with almost 2,000. Brandy got her 1,000. Health knocking on the door of his 2,000 or 1,000 haiku probably next year. Boomsticks and Slay have a chance. Probably Jedi and Colin in 2 years. probably in 2 years, Shadow in 3 years. You start to get a little further down, but these are people that could all be the haiku next members of the Haiku Hall of Fame. Notably, you can see Darthling and Brandizo are the only people that have ever made the board all 4 times. Copy 3, because he didn't have a haiku the first year, he wasn't in here. And if you notice, all the way down to Sheepdog is the highest number without any top 10 appearances. Down with Gustavo Shrapnel 201. This board should look different next year. You have people underneath who are very close, who are a little more active, and should push us further up the board. Push that board and start jostling the board a little bit. Plus, the way people are getting haikus, I would expect to see changes from 5-ish down to like maybe 10, 12. I expect to see a different looking board this year. And I might just post that as a direct comparison. So let's talk about years. This is our 4th full year of participation. You can see, as expected, 39% participated for 1 year. That's about what we expect. And you know, some people come in, they get their 1 haiku, they don't come to Twitch, they don't like to stream, they get their number. 61 of the hooligans lifetime, or about 39%, have 1 year participation. The 2, 3, and 4, the rest of the 60% is divided pretty evenly between 2 years, 3 years, and 4 years. So 20% or so showed up for about 2 years, 21% for 3 years, and 20% of all the hooligans have 4 years. And obviously, you expect as time goes on, these numbers will continue to separate. You'll see more 1 years always. You'll see 2, 3s, and 4s open up. Eventually, it'll be unlikely that we have everybody come back, all 31 come back for a 5th year. And we'll just have to see. That's the most exciting thing about it, is going from year to year and seeing how it looks. Next, let's go ahead and do a lifetime haikus. This chronicles all 155 hooligans. Of course, you can see all the way up to the top 20 having more than 200. Compy, Computer MD82 with 2,000, a couple in the 1,000. You'd have 7 kind of in that 500 to 1,000 range knocking on the door. The net 200 to 500 is 10, and then you have kind of a flatness there going from 50 and up. And then you have a big hunk of hooligans with between 10 and or 1 and 50. You know, kind of, which is common. I mean, 35 only have 1 lifetime haiku. That's up from 28 last year. So 7 people came in, got only 1 haiku, and bounced. And you know that will always be bottom heavy in that regard, because you know the haiku isn't for everybody, and some people just pop into streams and get 1, and once in a while you get people that'll come back. So this is to be expected based on how things are developed. And I think the more years we do, the broader that distribution will get. Because there's always going to be people that only have 1, and the numbers at the top are going to continue to expand. So, wonderful all-time leaderboard. I've loved watching it grow. Since I have pretty comprehensive data of this, I might do like a long-term development plot one of these days, maybe for year 5. We'll take all 5 years and we'll do like a rolling total for the 5 years to kind of see where everything goes. That should be interesting, well, at least to me. And finally, let's do some thanks. Our sincerest thanks. There's old Betty White, who we lost this year. To the mods who help me on and off stream. I get a fair amount of help off stream too. I like to farm for ideas from people who, you know, are interested in helping. I have a really good set of mods. You guys monitor the stream well. You manage things. You help me out well. I appreciate you. All the generous charitable donations throughout the year. We did a lot of good charitable work for the American Heart Association, for the autism community, the Autism Community Action Network that we did, from courtesy of what ML's request was. We did that in the summer stream. We did the baby shower, which I thought was just fun. I was really glad she didn't have the baby before we did the sale, and it worked out great. We got we did a lot of good just by being generous. And you know, if I can offer you something you're willing to pay for and you'll take it, well, we're not going to change that. To all the subscribers and bit donators, spice things up around here. You know, this obviously isn't how anybody makes a living around here, but it does pay for itself a little bit. It lets me be a little more generous on Twitch. It lets me to make things that I produce that people want to buy, like the haiku books. Keeps costs down. They keep getting bigger, but I don't want to raise the rates on them, so that's kind of what we're doing. So you got that big part of that goes to you guys who are donating bits and subs and just being around, and even through the little bit of ad revenue we pick up. To everyone who bought a haiku book last year, 2025's book will be ready to start at Q2 to 2026. The goal is to do more editing, to split it up a little bit better, not just to make it like a true anthology where you're just reading through stuff, but to really break it up and kind of give it a little bit more flair. We do more of this. We do a little bit more of this every year. It makes it for a better product, and I think people like it better. And I've changed how I record these things, how I record haikus, so we should be able to make a better produced and edited book. that makes for a better product. Because I won't be spending the next 2 months getting haikus together because it's already done. Of course, to Miss Cleve and Cleve Jr. for making my life better. This is a weird thing. I don't like Cleve Jr. shows up on stream sometimes off to my left, cracking wise until he gets kicked out of here. And my wife thinks this whole thing is very strange. I don't want. I would love her to be more into it, but maybe this is for the best. But she's very tolerant of all my nonsense and doesn't ask a lot of questions. And lastly, of course, to everyone who took time to stop in and say hello. This is a Twitch stream is kind of social media. You get in, you try to make a place where people will come in and be happy. You're busking basically, and anytime anybody pops in and throws a quarter in your bucket, you feel like you're doing something. So I appreciate everybody who got a haiku. Obviously, you don't want to. You want to keep growing and keep getting better and keep getting more interest, but it's the people who come in and stop and take a look at the merchandise, and of course the people that come in here all year long, the people that are here for every stream, the people that got a haiku in almost every stream. It's very well appreciated. Couldn't do any of this without you. I would have quit a long time ago if there was no interest, because sometimes the juice doesn't feel like it's worth the squeeze, but sometimes it does, and that keeps us in the game, right? Thank you, everybody, and last but not least, peace out, Girl Scouts, and we'll see you all again in 2026. Have a wonderful new year, and we'll be haikuing soon. Ta-ta.